Wanted to share a little bit today about how silence has really helped me over the years. I love, appreciate, and value my silence. And it's not like the type of silence where someone would confuse it in certain situations and say, silence, I say. Or, you feel like you're talking too much, or you want to be silent in certain situations. I'm talking about the getting quiet and feeling good when you're, whether you're with someone or you by yourself, and you feel that and embrace that silence that is within you, to the point where you're not necessarily ruminating or thinking all the time about solving problems, solutions, and things of that nature, but it's more or less listening and feeling. And maybe sometimes, questioning what comes up to your mind, the sounds that you hear around you, or even the sounds that you hear when you swallowing your food. I know that sounds weird, right? But seriously. But silence is deep. It can be deep. And it just hit me this morning, and I wanted to share this before I get started, is the past couple of days, I've had that anxiety feeling like I got to get this done, I got to get that done, and not knowing how to do certain things. Even when, say for example, I just resigned from my job. So I screwed myself as far as what some people would say, instead of planning. But I also, at the same time, it just happened and it fell into my lap. And it's like every step of the way, someone is like helping me get through this fogginess or whatever. And so I feel that for the retirement, right? And I have a running voice recorder that I'm going to put on my other channel, because it's called Experience, Earn, Learn, about this whole experience. Every day I'll say something into the voice recorder, and later on, when I feel like it, I'll make a video on it. But I'm just going to share this part here, is that so the retirement, someone was saying, you shouldn't do that. You're not going to get this amount of money until you wait until you're a certain age or whatever. And my thing is that I'm a walkie, I'm a talkie. I call them walkie talkies. You can still walk, you can still talk, you can still do. So if I needed to go into a job that's owned by somebody else, I can do it. And I never had problems getting jobs. And then it's, if I wanted to start my own thing, I can do it. I can walk, I can talk, I'm breathing. Within the next second or two or hours later, I might not be, but for now, this is where I am. And so I don't let that put fear in me anymore and say I need to sit down or apply for another job, another federal job in a state that I want to be in. I was just done. And so, the process is easy, but it's not easy. When I say not easy, is because I don't know what to do, but then there are key players that step right in and just guide you through the way and make it be like, phew, you know. And it's been like, you know, the paperwork and things of that nature, but I can't stop smiling because it's like things are, I don't know how it's going to work out, but things are working out, like, you know. And so then, and of course, the bad things happen in between too. So it's pretty easy because it's electronic, the government retirement thing or whatever. And, but I spoke to the person that's assigned to me, and they said, I'm just waiting on one more piece, you know, besides you signing these other 2 documents, like my continuing the life insurance and the W-4 for retirement, and then the one that they were waiting on, they said, you know, HR benefits sent everything except one thing, which it shows my, I guess, dental, vision, health insurance or whatever. And she said, I don't know why they didn't send that. And so I'm calling, you know, when you get to the 800 numbers, they are so frustrating. They either don't understand what you're saying, they put you, transfer you to another person, or they say you don't have the right department, you need to call this department. And it's like, why am I, you know, just sitting on this phone, press 1, press 2, press 5, and then when I get you, I get no help. And so I went through all that, and then finally something clicked inside of me, and I was like, what kind of numbers do I have in my phone? Because HR and payroll and things of that nature are not like they used to be back in the days. They're either at home or they're in different buildings and they're different numbers. It's not easy. And so I looked at my phone because and looked for a number, and I said, and I saw this number before I resigned, and I was like, why do I have this HR person number in my phone? Now normally when I'm, you know, helping either employees or veterans or stuff like that, and I get a good resource, I'll keep the number. And you know, at work I have my, you know, had my numbers and stuff like that, and easy contact for people to help get the process going for whatever situation. And I was like, why is this one in my personal cell phone? And it said HR, and I don't remember the name. I don't remember calling the person or how they helped me, but I called this person and I said, I just resigned, and something about, you know, I'm doing retirement and I need this form. I don't know what form it was, 28 or I don't know. But, and they was like, so they started in on me and said, don't take this negative. I said, I know. I shouldn't have, I did. And it was like, I just was done. And, you know, as far as resigning, she said, all right, I'm talking to you as a peer. She lectured me and this and that or whatever. And she said, it's not going to be easy to do the retirement. You just messed yourself up and this and that. And I was listening. I didn't cut her off. And I let her finish. And then I said, you know what? I'm asking you this because I have a person that's assigned to me from retirement already. Because she was telling me, oh, you're going to have to go to opm.gov and do this and that and that. And I was like, you know, I let her finish her conversation. I let her, you know, give it to me. Because I already know I was wrong to resign, or it's not the smartest thing to do if you thinking about smart things to do. But so when she finished, and when I mentioned, I said, well, I do have a person already, and they just need this one document. And I said, I don't remember why your number is in my phone, but evidently you must have helped me before to help someone else, or, you know, whatever. And she was like, oh, and it hit her. And it was like, and she was right away. So what happened was the organization had lost my paperwork from, it was something dealing with insurance, and to show a code number or whatever. And so she said, you hang in there, because I have somebody else, one of my peers. She stopped doing whatever she was doing. I kid you not, within 10 minutes, she had the document. And I was so happy. And I'm still happy. And, you know, and it's like, even with all this other stuff, you know, I get frustrated going to FedEx trying to open up a encrypted document, and I can, and it's like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And oh, I did put this on my voice recording yesterday because it was so profound to me. I couldn't open up the encrypted documents that I needed to print and sign and scan back in and send. And so what I did was, I was like, you know what? I'm going to AI. I was so frustrated. It was like an hour or two, and then keep putting my card in and letting FedEx, you know, whatever. And so, and then I went to AI, and I said, I did it like I would do Google, and I said, is there a way you can, I can get the form SF, I think it was 2808, and the, whatever other form, government forms, that's, so it's not encrypted, and I can print it and upload it as a PDF or something like that. And I got it from Google. I got it from AI, you know, and so I was able to do that way. It sounds silly, but these are just steps you take when you retire and stuff like that. And if you do it planning, most normal people, I'm not normal. I wanted to be, I planned to be, but it didn't happen that way. But, you know, most normal people will plan their retirement, or they will plan and give a 2-week notice or whatever for resignation. And I just, bam, did them both at the same time or whatever. So now it's the waiting game, but it's just beautiful. Life is beautiful. And when you get quiet, is what I was to talk about in silence. A lot of things come to you, right? A lot of things come to you, and you pay attention to a lot of things. And when I was younger, or being in relationships and being married and having kids, and there's so much commotion going on, you don't have the time to sometimes think and feel and allow certain things to come in and help you deal, because you're so busy fussing your way through instead of quieting your way through. I don't know. I think there's something like that. But I did Google something on silence. I probably, depending on what I'm doing later, I'm just going through my stuff and trying to do the scarcity mindset thing of, I'm just going to throw this away. I'm going to throw it away. No, I don't want to throw that away, but I'm going to throw this away. I'm going to throw that away. But if I get time later, I'm going to go through that silence information that I have and upload a video that way, or either I'll put it in AI or find some other creative way to do it. Anyway, have a good day. And your silence is beautiful.